Hello, what's up? My name is Veldboom, back again with another video of this tutorial series where I'm making a V6 engine, and I'm also going to build like the entire car around and everything. I haven't posted for the last month. I've been also moving a lot around, and I'm actually at home right now, so I'm actually not at the office, and I probably won't record at the office anymore because, you know, some more changes is gonna happen in the next coming weeks, hopefully, where we have like a full, you know, location dedicated to our own business and everything that we're operating currently. So in the previous video, also with moving around and stuff, and also not editing everything that I did before, I was actually making the attachments for the cam covers and the cylinder heads and everything to be also bolted to the engine. But I didn't really save the recording of me actually like explaining how I made everything the way that I did. So actually now I just kind of made like with the screen recording that I did still have, I just made like a speed art video of it, just a time lapse, I guess. And I'm just gonna talk you guys through it. So basically, hopefully you can still follow along, and then in the next video, we'll be back to the regular schedule programming where I'm just giving like the full tutorial and everything on how to take how to build these cars and these engine parts. So let's get right to it. So basically, first things first, what you're gonna see is me drawing up like the basic parameters or the outline where the belts will actually be for the gear drives and everything. I probably won't use any belts. It'd probably be just a gear drive system to kind of connect the crankshaft to the valve covers. And then also connect the drivetrain and everything to all the pumps and everything that you would need in order to keep the car running with lubrication and cooling and everything. So here you kind of see like that I made the attachments for where the belt should be, and this is like kind of like me making the outer perimeters for where everything should be bolted up to. And again, you can kind of see like also the channel for the liquid cooling and everything that needs to be attached to it. So getting in there, and then basically through these next couple of steps, I will do that for all of the parts that are kind of, you know, gonna be part of that. So I don't only need to do it for the engine block, but also for the oil pan. And as I said in the previous video, it will also be like a dry sump system, because, you know, if you have a car that has like a lot of high G forces that you're creating through corners and also through braking and acceleration, then there might be a point where the motor oil pumps don't have any like motor oil to actually pump through the engine if it's like a tank that's sitting at the bottom of the engine. So that's why we also use a dry sump. And also you can lower the engine height quite significantly, because you don't have like the engine the oil reserve in the bottom of the engine of the oil pan. So that is basically like what that is. So I'm also making an attachment for the motor oil pump and everything to be driven through the oil pan, and also I'm attaching that directly to the engine block so it becomes one cohesive piece. And that is also like from the top of the section, that is where the oil pan or the cylinder has to basically be attached to the cylinders. And here at the bottom end, we will have like that oil pan as I described. So here I kind of rounding off the fillets and everything to make sure that everything has kind of like space, but also looks, you know, nice. So, you know, this is not all like functional. I probably won't build this engine in real life anytime soon. So also wouldn't like do it based on my personal designs. I would hire some engineer to do it properly. But this is just to kind of give you like the gist of how the software and everything works. So here I'm making basically the bolt pattern system for the cam covers and everything to kind of be bolted to it. And or basically like the distribution belt covers, I think, whatever you kind of want to call them. So those are like very important to kind of make sure that you have like mounting points and brackets and stuff. And I think initially in the video I made holes that have already like some of the how do you call it? I didn't make like the holes yet. I only just made the bolt patterns for it, and I was gonna like make the bolts go through the entire thing, and then have like a bolt and nut in the end. But now I just kind of figured I should just make threads that are gonna go within the engine block itself. So that is basically also one of the modifications that you can kind of see me make at some point when it comes to this whole piece. I think that is what I'm talking about right here. That you can kind of see like the smaller holes that have like the cylinders that have the holes already in them. And here I'm kind of cutting out the holes behind it so that you can actually put the nut in there as well. But then at a later stage, I kind of take those off and make sure that it's just one solid piece that you will then be able to drill a hole through and then thread that hole to make sure that actually you can put a bolt through it without even using a nut. So that is also one of the things that kind of happen throughout the video. And sometimes, you know, I also make mistakes still. I'm not perfect at this, but yeah, that is basically like the gist of it. And let's see, so now I'm kind of rounding off everything with the fillets and making sure that it has like a flat surface to it. And that is basically like the gist of it. Now I also need to apply that bolt pattern to the bottom oil pan, and it's kind of like the similar steps that I already used. I don't think we did anything new or that I hadn't done before in SolidWorks. I didn't actually like showcase the threads or anything. So hopefully if you kind of like understand and follow the previous videos, then this shouldn't be too difficult to follow. But also if you have any questions, just feel free to kind of reach out to me in the comment section. Also take this time to tell y'all, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got a lot more like cool stuff coming in the near future that we're gonna get into, and that I just can't wait for y'all to see. But that is basically it. Now I'm kind of just throwing around it and everything. So for the next part, I actually gonna make the cylinder heads and also be able to then attach them directly through those to actually ensure that, you know, we have like also the valves running up and down and stuff. And then from that point forward, I will only have to do like the exhaust manifold and intake, the air intake box and stuff. So I'm gonna use like a center top like Formula One style air plenum that is like an overhead air intake that you can kind of bolt to it. And for the actual exhaust manifold, I want to do something pretty cool where they're kind of like part of the bodywork that you could see them from the outside, and especially if it is going to be like a BAC mono type car. And because I also chose to make it a V engine, the BAC mono is like an inline engine where you have the exhaust to one side and the air intake to one side. I kind of thought that would be cool to actually have a mirrored exhaust manifold that is kind of like protruding throughout the body a little bit. Would probably help a little bit with cooling. Wouldn't be like the best for aero, but I think it's also like you know, not too bad of the thing to do design wise. So yeah, so please make sure to also keep an eye out for that video coming next. I will actually now head off back to the office. Just 1 second, and I'm gonna install this right here into the actual car that I'm building. So I could also make a separate video for that. But this is actually the gearbox that I'm making for the actual car unit. So right here is where we will attach the motor, and then this right here will be the output shaft. And then if I take this apart real quick, you can also see like the inner workings. Take some of these bearings out. And then basically here you can see that if we have rotation, it's a little bit sturdy. I guess I should do it like that. There's still like some interference with the walls and stuff, but I feel like as soon as we kind of get it operational, then that will be fine. But that is basically like the process of the gear. But now I already kind of 3D printed a set of these gears. Probably won't be strong enough to actually get the car running. But now instead of using PLA, I printed these out of PETG, and they're feeling way more sturdy than they did before. But it's actually also like a mock-up for me, because I will actually have to have these CNC milled out of like aluminum or steel to actually get the car to run properly. Because I also don't think that the PETG will survive like very long. But you know, this is like basically what you can do also for your own products and also for your own, you know, test projects. If you actually allow yourself to learn how to use the SolidWorks. And I think the motor was kind of like the first step and a good educational thing that is coming with it. But eventually you'll be able to then 3D print your components and make sure that everything is operational the way that you kind of want it to be. And that is the power of 3D design and 3D printing, you know. So, you know, I'm geeked up about this stuff always, because I just love the process of starting with nothing and then eventually having something cool to kind of, you know, that actually works and is operational. So, amazing process. Yeah, that's it for this video. In the next one, like I said, I'll be making the cylinder heads, and then we'll continue from there. My name is Veldboom. Peace.